Warmest of welcomes back to the 15 grand house that we're renovating in rural France, and you're going to join us in the first floor bedroom now, where the legend that is Dave is going to be finishing off the flooring. Now, you've got plenty of questions about Dave's identity, and I shall get to that later on in the video, but for now, let's let Dave crack on with the work. As he takes the measurements, let me just give you a flashback as to what this room used to look like. It used to have some old wood flooring, which I had to rip up because some of the joists were rotten, but now you can clearly see those joists have been replaced, and Dave is finishing the job by installing the OSB flooring. Now Dave is about to cut this to size using a circular saw, and on the subject of circular saws, in 1924, New Orleans, Edmond Michel, a French-born engineer, designed the first ever circular saw. He called it the skill saw, which is still known as today. And here is a diagram of the original skill saw made by Edmond Michel. I even found this cool Spanish advert. You can see there on the bottom left is the first ever skill saw. This is from the 1930s, and Dave is just about done cutting that piece. Let's see him go and put it in place, and don't worry, I'm not going to delay on showing you the end result of this first floor bedroom because it looks amazing. You're in for a right treat. And voila, all thanks to Dave, the first floor is looking absolutely fantastic, and I can safely say that a first floor bedroom floor is done diddly done. Nice work, Dave. But now moving on to the second floor, future ensuite that is, and well, there's not much to see at the moment, but thanks to Dave, we're going to be able to knock this out in this very video. But first of all, let me give you a flashback to what it used to look like back in the day. That's right, when I first bought it, here it is. I did have to do some digging, quite literally, to uncover quite the sinister problem here, and that was that the joist above the window actually snapped and was completely rotten. Meaning that I had to take the whole floor up, and this is the result. Now you can see we've replaced the dodgy joists, and now all we have to do is replace the floor once again, which is not a problem because no job is too big for good old Dave. And yes, you are wondering, who is this Dave? Well, let me just say, he is a legend of a man. He's a great guy. He is a true friend, and I'd even go as far as to say that he's like a brother to me. But that's all you're going to get as for Dave's origin story, for now at least, because I know I said Dave doesn't want to be on camera, but the truth is, I don't really want to see, lovely kick there by the way, Dave. I don't really want to show Dave on camera because, you know, people are weird, people are a little bit overbearing and judgmental of other people's work, and I don't want Dave to feel overwhelmed by all of that fun stuff. I want to keep Dave to myself because the world is not ready to see Dave in all his glory. What a legend of a man. Legend of a man. Now Dave's progressing quite well in this room. We're almost halfway done already. No messing about at all. And yeah, doing a good job. Quite the balancing act, of course. You wouldn't want to fall because you'll definitely know about it if you did so. But Dave is a true expert. He's got a little bit of experience and a little bit of je ne sais quoi to get the job done. And that's what you need in these kind of renovations. You need to be a little bit brave. You need to be willing to just go for it. And that is Dave down to a T. Magic kick there from Dave again. Look at that, kicking the OSB flooring with such grace and elegance to get the job done. Oh, and while we're on the subject of the drill, I do want to say I had a little comment in the last video saying I should buy a more expensive drill. Why have I got a budget drill? And to you I say, I had no idea that DeWalt was a budget brand. I was always taught that DeWalt was quite a good brand. In fact, I'd say mid-range, a good mid-range, with the price to go with it. But apparently some people, or one person at least, disagrees. So I'd love to get your comments on DeWalt as a brand. I always thought it was a good, trustworthy, reliable brand, but this drill that I've bought, this first ever DeWalt product, is playing up. It seems to have a mind of its own. It doesn't want to obey the old lefty-loosey, righty-tighty rule, but that's nothing too hard for Dave. He can conquer any tool, he can master it and make it his own, which is clearly what he's doing here. So fantastic. But yes, the drill will eventually be going back to the shop to be repaired or replaced, who knows. But definitely not a cheap drill by any means. So if you think DeWalt's a cheap brand, think again. But then again, it's a year old and it's playing up, so I'm just a little bit surprised at that. But hey ho, such is life. You can't expect everything to be perfect. And you can see here we are packing out the old joists because there's a little bit of sag on them with other old offcuts of OSB, which marks the end of day one. And we're moving in now to day two, where the work continues. Because let's get this floor installed in this video. These are OSB panels that we're using, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about OSB, or Oriented Strand Board is what it stands for. And this stuff is essentially many layers of compressed wood engineered to be extra strong and resilient, as well as being very cost effective at the same time. That's a nice way of saying it's pretty cheap. It is used throughout various projects, especially in the States. I know you love to use this material for your walls. I know houses out there are built of wood, but this stuff, it does the job, and it's really, really good. It's also used for flooring, of course, like what we're using it for. You can see here it's sometimes used for walls and flooring. Why not? It does the job. But it's also used in the States for roofs, which we don't really use it for here in Europe. But yeah, why not? Hey, if it works, it works. So for anyone who doesn't know, that's OSB, that's what it's used for. Now it would appear that we're getting pretty low on materials, and that means that another trip to the builders merchants is indeed on the cards, which is good news for the progress of the renovation, but bad news for my wallet, which is always a nerve-wracking time when it comes to paying these material bills. But hey ho, that's the way it goes in the renovation. Everything is an investment for the future. That's the way I see it. You can't let yourself get overwhelmed by these things, and I'm putting value into the house. I think that is the best way to look at it. It's not money down the drain, it's money that's going into the house, the value of the house itself. With every penny spent on this house, hopefully a penny and a half is put on the value of the property. But here in rural France, it's not that simple, and I'm sure eventually we will find out if I stand to make money or lose money on this place, but we're definitely not at that stage yet, as we watch Dave create more offcuts for packing out this wonderful piece of flooring here. We're almost done. We're almost at the end of the day already. So Dave is definitely making light work of this task. Alright, I think this is probably the last piece, or the penultimate piece going in right now, so it's very exciting times. I can't wait to show you what this floor looks like once it's done. And as I excuse me, as I come towards the end of this commentary, I just want to say, lovely kick there, magic kick by Dave. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I just want to say I'm actually under the weather as I make this commentary, so I do apologise if it seems like I'm not on top form, but the show must go on, and I really appreciate all of your support as you watch these videos. Please continue watching, because just by watching you are allowing this renovation to continue. So thank you so much, everyone. Positive vibes all around, and a huge round of applause for the man himself, the legend, the myth. Is he even real? Dave, absolute legend, as he uses his beautiful makeshift ruler to draw the shape of the last piece of OSB flooring. What a great guy. Call him MacGyver, call him Dave, call him whatever you want. He is the man for this job. Thank you, Dave. I'm going to be quiet now. Just enjoy watching Dave. Here we go. The last piece of flooring is now officially in place. And with that being said, the second floor ensuite is now almost complete. Just needs a couple of screws, which Dave is going to promptly handle. And just like that, we have the second floor ensuite floor installed. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you so much to you, the viewer, for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you enjoyed this commentary. It's a thumbs up from Dave. And stay tuned for the next video. In the meantime, you can watch a 30-day recap of the first 30 days.